The following podcast is for adults, not children. So get those fucking assholes out of the room, because they gotta leave.
Welcome to another episode of Two Guys One Garage. As always, this is David.
This is Phil.
And today on this show, episode 56, believe it or not, we're going to talk to you guys and girls about mermaids.
That's the flipper.
Do they have flippers?
What do you call the tail? Tail.
A tail, yeah.
Well, that was the tail.
That's a terrible impression of a mermaid's tail, Phil.
Yeah, it is as it happens.
What do you know about mermaids as a rule, just as a general sort of, okay, I'm going to say the word mermaid, first thing that comes to your mind?
Tits. For a fact.
They do like to go topless, those mermaids, as do those mermen.
Yeah, they're usually pretty jacked as well,
Mm.
based on the one Disney guy.
Neptune. Was it Neptune that was Ariel's father?
Might have been either.
He had the trident.
Yeah, the long hair.
Should have probably been Poseidon, shouldn't he?
Should have been.
No, hang on. Should he have been Neptune? Because Poseidon's a Greek god. Who is Neptune?
A Roman god or something.
Could be.
I got no idea.
As an adult, you know, if I watch The Little Mermaid, it doesn't happen very often, because it's The Little Mermaid, but that scene where she becomes a young woman, I mean, she's in her early 20s, so what I'm about to say isn't wrong, but she's amazed at the fact that she's got toes.
Yeah.
I'd be more inclined to be amazed at the new pleasure spot that she's got in between her legs.
Yeah.
You've now got a whole menstrual cycle going on down there. Never mind the toes. You've got a brand new feature going on down here. You're no longer fish.
Yeah.
You would assume mermaids don't have vaginas.
Well, this is the thing. This is what's been screwing with my brain recently. Is how do they mate? If not mermen and mermaids, right? But say if a mermaid seduced a normal human male, and that it was time to get it on, and the bloke was like, "Yes,
this is a fantasy,"
and they were like, "Oh, she'll probably just show us which hole, because I don't know at the minute." And then she just fucking farted some eggs out and went, "Spray them eggs, bitch."
I was thinking about this in the driver from Lancashire today. I was thinking, okay, well, first of all, it's ridiculous because she's half fish, half mammal. That's two different types of animal combined. That's cold-blooded and warm-blooded combined. Actually, having said that, they've just discovered a warm-blooded fish. That's by the by. Mermaids is a crazy idea anyway. So you've got this half woman in this instance, oh man, but this half woman, half fish. The only logical way that they could further their species through sexual reproduction would be by doing exactly the same as other types of fish, such as salmon, which is a case of the female letting out a load of eggs, hundreds of eggs, and then the male coming over,
just
spraying his semen fluid over them, and then fertilising them that way. The only other similar possibility would be if somehow the male latched onto the female with an amplexus grasp, like
it's just technical.
Like a male toad or frog will latch onto a female, and then she fires out the eggs, and whilst the eggs are coming out, he fertilises them.
So just two streams of...
Yeah, it's sort of like the fish theory, but up close and personal.
And so the fertilisation takes place between them two? Between the two creatures?
It sort of happens at the same time.
And it just drifts off into the water?
Yeah, well, that's how frog spawn's produced.
Oh, right.
And toad spawn. So there's either that or the fish theory. Now, surely if it's a mermaid, it's got to be a fish. Fish? What's a fish? It's a fish with a T. It's got to be a fish theory, right? So yeah, you would. It's a crazy idea, but let's go right back to the start, because we've jumped way ahead of the game here. Way ahead of the game, Phil. Because we're talking about sex and mermaids. You're talking about smutty mermaids already.
Well, that's what they're...
You should be ashamed of yourself. The first thing you think of when somebody says mermaids is tits.
Yeah, but to be fair, what else could I think about them? What else? Because realistically, do I think they exist?
Phil, do you believe in mermaids?
They exist at all? Fuck no, dog.
Oh my god, Phil.
It's oh well, from that concept of mermaids, what can I get out of them? Titties, man. And if I'm not going to get laid, like I just described, where she's going to tell you to spray on some eggs, and you'd be like, oh, fuck.
No, Phil.
Can you at least get a tit wank? That's the question. That's a question I pose to the mermaid subculture.
If they did exist and they were out and about, and you happen to walk into the pub one day and say to your buddies, your mates, "Hey boys, just got a blowjob off a mermaid, man.
High five!
High five!" But let's look at the history, sort of the past, the ancient sort of, not ancient, but the old writings about mermaids and sailors seeing them. What do you think this is? Do you think these were just stories that were concocted? Do you think these were horny sailors? Do you think...
I think one aspect of it could probably be attributed to sailors eating like mouldy bread, like bread with mould on it, because that mould can contain LSD, I think, or at least a substance really similar to LSD. So in my head, basically what's happened, one of two things, but the thing I think immediately is, all right, so they've been eating the bread.
Yeah.
They're starting to trip. They're just tripping balls here, and they're seeing all sorts of crazy shit. And for just some horrible twist of fate, the majority of them lock on to this fat sailor boy and think, look at that beautiful busty gal from the sea.
Yeah.
And then they proceed to gang rape the shit out of him whilst high on fungus.
That's pretty
mold.
brutal. That's a pretty far-flung theory.
Yeah, and he probably like felt so shit about it that he just threw himself overboard at the end, and then they don't remember him even being part of the crew. And they're just like, "Do you remember last night when the fucking the chick from the sea with the tail and the titties came on board and we fucked her? We can't find her anymore."
Yeah, but that means they've all got to see the same sort of...
Yeah, like a shared hallucination.
A shared hallucination.
Or they were just easily like coerced into it, like, yeah, do you want to just pretend little Billy there's a chick from the sea? Because we didn't board with any women. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
somebody's going to get fucked.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, Billy's card's up.
Yeah, Billy's the smallest, the fattest, and the weakest, so... Come here, boy, survival of the fittest, motherfucker. You're a mermaid tonight.
Put this costume on, you little fuck.
Yeah, like one of them little clam bras.
If anybody's found this podcast just by searching on iTunes or YouTube and I just wanted to look at mermaids, you've come to the right place, but you're going to get a bit of an alternative take on it.
Oh yeah, it's the truth.
It's the truth.
It's the truth what's coming out, yeah.
Tread lightly. Here be dragons, okay? Just watch what you're doing.
Be very,
so
very careful.
Let's break down exactly what a mermaid is for that one person who might not know, because, come on, everybody knows what a mermaid is, right? Half man, half woman, half fish. A mermaid is a legendary aquatic creature with the upper body of a female human or a male human and the tail of a fish. And it's not widely believed in. Not anymore. I remember Luke, who listens to the podcast, who we've mentioned quite a few times, he believes in mermaids. He believes... Yeah, he definitely believes in mermaids. He believes there's...
Luke, what the fuck?
He believes that there's... And he's got a point. There's a hell of a lot that we haven't explored in the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
They say that we know more about the moon, the surface of the moon,
yeah,
than we do about the ocean depths. But hang on a minute. The moon's pretty uniform. There's not much going on the surface of the moon. So, we do know a lot about the moon. There's not much to know about the moon. So that's a bit daft. But, yeah, there is a shitload more for to find out and discover in the ocean, in the Marianas Trench, for example. There's some crazy shit down there. But is it possible that because of the conditions down there, there's probably not that much to discover?
Mm-hmm.
Because the conditions down there are so harsh and
it's really high pressure.
The pressure's so intense.
Hot.
Is it possible that, we haven't explored down there and we've barely, discovered anything in our deep oceans, but is it possible there's not really much to discover down there? But that's sort of off topic. So mermaids. He believes that it's possible they could exist. Wouldn't we have found them by now if it did? We use submarines. There's cruises all the time. There's going on around the world. Fishermen fish the seas. There are people in boats for fun. People rent small pedalos to go out into water. All across the world, people are on the surface of the water, exploring.
And they would be coming to the surface all the time because if they've got the top half of a fucking human,
they've got lungs.
So they've got to breathe the air.
Yeah.
From above the water.
Oh, thank fuck that pedalo's disappeared.
Yeah, and humans are like tribal, aren't they? So they would be in groups and that.
Mm-hmm.
That obviously don't exist. Like, I think that's safe to say. Like, that obviously just in no way exist at all.
So this podcast's over. Maybe it don't exist.
Something that got me thinking was, you know Waterworld?
The Kevin Costner movie,
yeah. One of my favourite films ever. Which
you're
I
a fool.
Like,
you're a fool.
You're going to get fucking absolutely braid for saying such terrible things about such a wonderful film.
Waterworld, terrible movie.
Get the fuck out of my house.
You want me to leave? No, get the fuck out of here right now. It's not amazing.
It's so disappointing that we don't see eye to eye on Waterworld.
What's good about Waterworld? Dennis Hopper? Kevin Costner?
Yeah, Dennis Hopper's absolutely class in Waterworld.
Have you seen Super Mario Brothers?
No.
With Dennis Hopper?
No.
You'll not see him in the same light.
I'm not going to watch it then. I want to hold on how class he is in Waterworld. But basically, the idea though, like if there being this apocalypse, well, say through like climate change, if
that's a conspiracy in itself.
if all the land, like all the ice caps melted and all that shit, and the Earth just effectively became like covered in water, like a lot more so than it is now. Like, you know what I mean? If humans had to then adapt to living on the water. Not just like in the water, but like, you know, if they like sort of planned for it a bit and started to make like floating cities and stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, right, after hundreds of thousands of years, one, could humans even like last that long? Because how are you gonna even get hold of resources and stuff like that? Would we be able to figure it out? I just don't know. But say if they did, I wonder what kind of mutations would take place in the like physicality.
All right, okay.
If the human, and like would eventually after hundreds of thousands of years, would we begin to develop like a tail, like a mermaid's tail, like setup?
We wouldn't develop a tail like a fish. If we were going to mutate to any degree. I think the first thing that would happen, and it would take a long, long time, would be webbing.
Just webbed
toes and webbed fingers, web between the fingers. I think if we really did have the chance to evolve to the extreme, would go more of the way of either seals or cetaceans, whales or dolphins.
Yeah.
I don't think we'd develop the tail of a fish. No. It's a fish.
But it'd be class to see, like what a human could evolve into.
Yeah, but that would take millions of years. And I personally don't think humans will be around on this planet for much longer.
Why?
What? Because we're humans.
Like you think about humans just
wipe out
humans?
I think we'll wipe ourselves out or something. There'll be some sort of...
Oh, fuck, I accidentally released the fucking super virus.
Oh,
that's
shit.
Gonna kill absolutely everybody on the planet.
Yeah.
My bad.
Whoops.
My bad.
Yep.
Centre for Disease Control, we're trying our best over here.
Whoopsie.
We fucked up.
I don't believe that's possible. I believe that
I
humans...
think it's more nukes.
Anything, I just think humans will bring about their own demise. I don't think we'll be around for another 10,000 years.
Can I contribute to that?
Please do.
Russia is planned to stockpile more nuclear weapons.
more
nukes.
They're psychopaths, so it's going to happen.
Supposedly, like...
not all Russians,
missiles
but
missiles that can evade, like the best like anti-missile technology that we have. So imagine that, the best the best technology in evasive missiles with a nuclear warhead in the front of it.
What would be the point in that? What would be so we're going to order some more nukes. Why? What for? The planet's getting smaller. There's more people.
Yeah, there's probably enough nukes in existence that could just fucking ruin the planet.
Yeah.
Like just wipe the planet out.
Yeah, and then
but of course we need more. So fuck you.
And then maybe out of the water, the whales and dolphins will evolve out of the water, or maybe
or after we nuke the shit out of ourselves.
If they survive.
Yeah, I wonder.
What if whales and dolphins are mermaids? What if these sailors were just, I don't know, high as kites off this bloody off this bread trip they've been on, and they were seeing these things out at sea, and they were just like, whoa, what's that?
Yeah, and they got one on board, and we're just like touching up, going, "It's just such a big, beautiful bitch."
Well, not even at that point. If they just saw something in the distance, they thought, "It had arms. That had arms. I've seen it. It had arms." And then drones, and you know how stuff just sort Chinese whispers.
Yeah.
It just goes through, and it's just like boom. Mm-hmm. You know, I could say to you, I got attacked by. I got attacked by this feral cat that had rabies. Didn't bite us though, so I haven't got rabies. And then a few people down the line, I got attacked by this big savage sort of like puma. And he's got rabies.
He didn't get rabies, he's got AIDS. Imagine that, guys. Fucking AIDS.
The guy's ill. So, humans are dicks.
No doubt about that.
So it's totally, I think it's totally conceivable that people did believe in mermaids back in the day because of misinterpretation of what they'd seen.
Especially when you're going to be sitting in a similar environment for days and days in a row. Say like in a desert where you start to hallucinate and picture shit like a mirage, like wow, look at that over there. It's not there at all. It's just fucking plain sand.
Christina Hendricks in front of me.
But so like a similar effect must take place in the brains of like sailors.
Well, think about how long people were on these galleons for at sea.
Yeah, it must have been a few
weeks,
weeks
months even, because it took so long to get anywhere. They had limited supplies. The food wasn't exactly the 5-star.
Would have been fucking shit.
It would have been
the
bog
meat.
standard,
The meat would have been
basic
packed
food
to fuck with salt. Think about this actually. The meat would have been covered in salt, right? Would that not dehydrate it to fuck?
Yeah.
Right? All the shit's rotten anyway.
Salt.
The fruit, the bread, everything's just beginning to rot.
Hasn't got a long shelf life.
Yeah.
Bread.
Oh fuck! Totally forgot you couldn't drink the seawater.
Shit, that makes you
hardly got any water, guys.
Seawater's really, really bad for humans.
Yeah, so
you go mad after drinking it for a few days, don't you? Like these people that have been
would fuck you up.
in plane crashes or shipwrecks in recent times where they've been on these like inflatable rafts waiting for help. I remember watching a documentary once and somebody was drinking the seawater and it was driving them insane. Now I think it was about 4 or 5 of them left, and at the end I think it was 2 of them got off because this guy was losing his mind. And he jumped in the water. He just jumped in and started swimming. He thought he could see land or something.
This is a real thing.
This is a real thing. And I think you'd never find it if you try, but it's on YouTube. But I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, he's drinking this salt water and he's hallucinating. He's been shouting on, screaming on for hours and hours and hours. And he jumps out the side of the boat and they get him after a massive struggle where they're nearly attacked by sharks. They get him in and he's still going mad, and I think the next day he jumps in the seawater, sharks get him, and that's it. But he was going crazy from the salt water. You know, the lips were all chapped, they were dry under the sun. It was on the Pacific
Imagine how
somewhere.
fucking torturous that is when you're like dehydrated, like totally, like dangerously dehydrated. You're on a raft and you're surrounded by water, but you can't drink it.
Yeah.
That has got to be hell. That, like fucking hell. I couldn't ask for physically any more water. But I couldn't ask for any fucking worse water to actually drink. It's just totally screwed.
Yeah. Yay.
Cheers, God.
Thank you, God, if you exist. So
Miserable bastard.
Miserable bastard. Now, we were talking about this before. Let's keep it local on this point, Phil. We're going to Durham. Let's go to Durham, Phil.
Down the road.
You going to come with me to Durham?
Let's get the bus.
Who the fuck gets the bus? Pensioners and school kids get the bus, Phil.
People with no driving capabilities.
Okay, well,
Paraplegics.
we can both drive, Phil. So
I can drive.
we're gonna drive. Let's go there mentally in my heads right now. So Durham.
If there's like a little thing on the camera, we'll go like, bump, and then we're like, all of a sudden we're just jumping at the door.
So the normal? Where's my head at today? Jesus, man. The Norman Chapel in Durham Castle, built around 1078. So that's old.
It's fucking ages ago.
By Saxon stonemasons, right? Has what is probably the earliest artistic depiction of a mermaid in England. So if you go there, check it out. It's on a south-facing capital stone, yeah, above one of the original Norman stone pillars, and it's I showed you the picture before. It's just stereotypical mermaid. This is 10th century. Stereotypical mermaid, woman, breasts, fishy lower half.
Oh.
For sure, keep it clean.
Ain't that the truth?
So that's an early as hell depiction.
Yeah, you could have accidentally just like stumbled onto the truth there. That might just come from an insult, an ancient insult. Like, yes, she smelt so fucking bad down there that I can only attribute it to the fact that she must be half fish.
We'll put this in a chapel because that is a sin. You can't smell. That's a sin.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I don't know what you're thinking.
You're not welcome in God's house.
You're fucking destroying the atmosphere. With the cheesy cocks mixed with your fishy fucking minge.
You're sick.
Get out.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of God's house now.
Before I kick you out. Roadhouse. So, these stories, that carving was from Saxon times, 10th century. And these mermaid stories go back to, back through antiquity. There's a Syrian goddess of the water, Atargatis. Pliny the Elder wrote a book called History Naturalis, which is basically this tome of natural history. It's got the usual suspects in there, animals, but it's also got these oddities, these cryptids like the mermaid, like the griffin, which is an amalgamation of a few types of creature, the griffin. In 1493, Christopher Columbus claimed to see 3 mermaids near the Dominican coast, but that explorer, shall we say, was a bit of an asshole. If you do your research on Christopher Columbus, he was a bit of a dick. Actually, he was a massive dick.
Yeah.
The guy was a walking penis. So I wouldn't listen to a word he said. Oh, yeah, seen mermaids, yeah, seen them, yeah. 1493, yeah, off the Dominican coast. Don't you tell me anything about anything else from the fucking Saxon times, because I've fucking seen them. So I was thinking, Phil, aquatic ape theory. Have you heard of it?
Vaguely.
Basically this idea that maybe a long time ago humans took to the water.
Oh, so the idea is that we were fully formed land creatures, fully evolved land dwellers.
Yeah, we'd left the water, and then some of them went back to the
All right, so that theory claims that mermaids exist, then, does it?
That's a theory on how they could exist.
But the theory itself,
it's not
doesn't
scientifically
need
backed up. It's not actually a theory. It's just what they call it. It's an idea that maybe certain tribes of human went back to dwelling next to water, and then eventually in the water.
Well, they definitely do that anyway, just by being next to rivers and stuff.
Yeah, but this sort of denotes the idea of them becoming fully evolved to be able to live in the water and essentially become this sort of mermaid type creature. Not just people that go into the water for clams for the supper. They actually go back into the water.
What reside in the water?
Yeah. But I mean, the evidence is flimsy, and it's
got to be bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah.
In theory.
Your theory is bullshit.
That was a documentary the Discovery Channel did. They created this documentary about whales washing up on the beach. I think it came out in 2004. I forgot where the beach was. It was somewhere in America. These whales were being washed up, and then they found all these bodies of these whales, and then that's this mermaid body. Shit! And they tried to play it off as real. I think that something happened with the sonar underwater, and all these creatures got sort of really confused because loud man-made sounds underwater have been known to cause hemorrhages in dolphin brains. Hence why the beach themselves, sort of go crazy.
Bloody hell!
So it's the reason that the wash up on the beaches is because obviously it's probably unbearable to them in the water. So it could almost be suicide because whatever they're picking up through their sonar is really messing with their heads. So whether it's suicide or what, but it's obviously it's got to be unbearable for these dolphins. So what if there's mermaids down there and it's doing the same to them? It's fucking sending their sonar all over the place. They can't compute what's going on. And anyway, they find this mermaid. It turned out to be a massive hoax, like it was always gonna be. What's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts that maybe, what if they do exist, they're fully aquatic, and they use sonar to hunt? It's a what if, because let's face it, there's no fucking mermaids down there.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Just physically, what you were saying, right at the beginning, the idea of something being a completely mammal, one half of it,
Yeah.
completely fish, the other half. It just seems like that distinction, that huge distinction between the two halves of the body, seems like something that nature wouldn't support.
Yeah, but that's sort of the modern imagery and modern-ish imagery of mermaids. When mermaids were first depicted,
More scaly? Just
they were
all
seen
over?
as a lot more scaly, the bishop's fish. I think if you type that in, that's the first sort of artistic interpretation of a mermaid. I'll type it in now just to double check, but
Because this idea of like going back into the water sounds ridiculous, doesn't it?
yes.
But how fucking crazy is it that for a fact shit actually did come out of the water?
It is crazy.
And still, like, because that definitely happened. Like, shit started to just migrate, obviously over like fucking millions of years and stuff. But it went from living in the sea to now being able to support itself on the land. That's fucking crazy. That's a huge like shift. That's like being able to live on Earth and then all of a sudden adapting to being able to live on Venus or something. You know what I mean? It's such a different.
Yeah, but it would have took a long time to get to that point.
In millions of years.
Yeah, yeah. This is the bishop's fish, which is basically I'll put a link down below for those listening and those watching. It's sort of like a deformed human covered in scales and fins and
a beard, according to that one.
And according to that one, it's got some sort of a scaly beard. Yeah.
I can't, for me, it, like, you can see how humans look like they're meant to be on the land.
Yeah.
And fish, which look totally fucking different to humans.
Yep.
Totally different. Look like they're perfectly suited to the sea. There's not really that much in between, like, that lives in the sea. Like, I know you have mammals and stuff, but they're fucking nothing like humans. Like, it just seems like if it's taken so long for this form to develop, like the human form, even an earlier version of the human form, and it just seems like that would be ridiculous. that would also support being able to support living in the fucking sea, which is just taking years and years and years to evolve out of.
If a mermaid, a siren, if you're at the beach one day and you see this, what's that woman doing over there? What's she doing sat on that rock for? Holy shit, she's got a tail. She's got bountiful breasts. And I'm talking, they're your kind of breasts. We've got a good breast nipple ratio going on here. They're yours. You're feeling this. And she's singing whatever a sea shanty will be. She's singing a song, she's trying to serenade you. Are you going to go and get a piece?
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to be like,
Psst. Hey, love. Psst. Love.
Shows your tits.
yeah, get out of here. Chucks a rock at you. Like, oh, fuck this. Come back into disguise.
Poseidon, god of the sea, comes out. You will not!
Yeah, I'll definitely. I'll definitely,
even though she'll probably drag it into the murky depths.
Right, fuck this.
You'll
right.
die underwater, surrounded by kelp. You'll be eaten by crabs just because you got sleazy for a second. You need to put your tongue back in your head and stop being lusty.
I'm not going to jump into the fucking sea and swim towards her and be like, hey, let's get it on. I'm on about, like, if she's fucking beached.
Phil, that's mermaid rape.
I'm going to be like, are you okay down there? No, actually, I need to... No, I see you are okay. I'll just put this cloth over your mouth.
But what about... hang on, you haven't got much to work with, though, because you're going to get this big tail flapping about.
I know, that's what I was thinking. Like, if you mounted her for a tit wank, right, and you mounted her, I was thinking, could she not just absolutely howk the shit out of you with that tail?
Yeah.
Like, you're like on top going, go on,
Do you want to... Suck it. Do you want to...
Whack!
Just define the word howk for people around the world.
I'll do it again. This is a howk. Whack!
It's
much more force.
Smack.
Since I'm not going to destroy my own brain. Yeah, it's
talking about mermaids.
It's a big thud.
Yeah, when I was growing up, this chair is creaky as a motherfucker. When I was a kid, I used to love the idea of cryptozoology. All these fucking crazy beasts, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti. They're all pretty much.
They're all three the same thing.
Yeah, they're from different parts of the world though. So they're slightly different. Cheeky motherfucker. Chupacabra, the Mothman, aliens, mermaids, mermen. All these crazy, these cryptozoology, all this sort of natural, this possible, fantastical, natural history. I used to love the idea of it all. I used to think it was so fantastical, awesome. Now as I grow up, I'm approaching 27. Fast approaching, next week. I'm just... that belief is very rapidly disappearing. Much like conspiracy theories, a lot of them I'm just like, it's probably not a conspiracy theory. Just like that, the the belief in it is just dissipating. It's just like, oh well, there isn't anything.
It's because your brain, as you get older,
There is no mermaids.
your brain gets more logical and less creative. In most cases, the older you get, it goes more into rationality mode, and just goes right. Fuck the open-mindedness so much.
Yeah.
More like you just get more like mathematical in your thinking. You think there's no way that's possible. You weigh up the evidence and stuff like this. You're just like, that's got to be bullshit.
Yeah.
And as you say that, not just with like mythical stuff, but with other things like the conspiracy, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
That used to be a huge conspiracy nut. Now it just doesn't. It doesn't seem to like I don't need it.
When I first met Phil, did you have a beard?
I would have had beer.
A very nothing like it was a few months ago.
Probably like what it is now.
Just a bit like that. He had long, slick back hair, tied back in a ponytail. Conspiracies, man. Read this book, man.
The Lisbon Treaty.
Oh my God, this guy called David Icke. He'll blow your mind, guys. It's like, no, there's Phil, the conspiracy guy.
Yeah.
He got switched on to David Icke and all that sort of crazy stuff, for which I'm very thankful for. But you're right. As you get older, you do change and you look at things a little bit more rationally.
Mm-hmm.
You sort of weigh it up.
And sometimes I do wonder if that like change in your thinking, that like subdued like effect on your thinking. Sometimes I think, is that a conspiracy? Like, to explain, has the media dumbed me down to not question it anymore? Like oh, you nearly broke through when you were researching the conspiracy theory stuff. Yeah. You nearly got to the truth. But you just spent just a couple, too many years in British fucking culture 2.0, and you succumb to it, and you ended up thinking politics was actually important, for example. Like, oh yeah, that's going to make a difference.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe it's just your brain just gets battered by a load of like subliminal conspiracy-related shit, you know? But when you're younger, late teens, early 20s, and you're totally trying to figure life out and everything.
Yeah, open-minded.
Like, maybe you actually are closer to getting the truth then. And when you're older, you're like, nah, you're stupid to believe that the fucking moon landings was a hoax. Or that JFK was fucking assassinated by anyone other than Lee Harvey Oswald.
There's just no way that it wasn't exactly as
Why
depicted
would
in
the
media.
American government do that to themselves? i.e. 9/11. It just doesn't make any sense. It makes fucking perfect sense, actually.
It does make perfect sense.
Like, a lot of people can put forward a really good reason why America would allow that attack to take place.
Yeah.
Pearl Harbor, fucking, that preceded that.
Yeah.
Let's just let them bomb us so that we can go fucking batshit crazy.
Yeah.
With
Just
bombs.
give us a reason, guys. Just give us a reason.
Yeah, America is like, go on, just hit me right there. Go on, hit me right there.
Do it, come on, right here, come on.
And they're like, cheers. Hellfire, rain down on your motherfucking asses.
So, mermaids, come back to the point, are mentioned all across the world. Multiple different types. Selkies in Scotland, which are seals that can take a human form. You've got the merman, the mermaids. You've got all sorts of different names depending on which part of the world you're from. Question is, overall question, do you believe? Not at all?
No.
Not at all? Me? Nah. I think they've probably just seen some cetaceans, some maybe manatees in a lagoon somewhere. They'd never seen them before, these sailors, Chinese whispers, everything gets elevated. Oh, well, it looked like this, and then 25 people and 2 generations down the line or whatever. Oh, yeah, well, she had luscious long hair and bountiful breasts.
What do you learn from
Clams.
Facebook? What do you learn from Facebook? That humans are prone to talking utter shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that's part of the fucking experience.
Oh, yeah, Facebook's around. We're maybe in the 21st century, but we're still talking 21st century bullshit.
Yeah, people
The
just,
bullshit doesn't wash away. It's always here.
yeah, it's so easy for people to just come out with utter horse shit.
Yeah.
For most people, that isn't an issue to just make something up.
I watch videos of fake things, and you see people commenting, going, "Oh my god, that's not real." It's so obvious it's not real. Whether it's a UFO video or the Argentinian gnome video, Argentina.
I like how you did that.
Yeah, like how I put the hard R in there, Phil.
It was real
Hard
cute.
G. Yeah.
Real nice of you.
Argentina.
I had one question for you.
Yeah, come on. Oh yeah, questions in your shit.
I had a question. And that sort of like not really mermaid related, but you know.
Well, it would help if it was. It's a mermaid podcast.
Sort of is in a sense, in a very slight sense. But if you could say, if someone said like, look, you know, mermaids, you know how they've got a fucking fish tail and a human like upper half. Well, keep thinking about that when I tell you that as God, you now have to pick not a fucking fish tail, don't worry, mate, but you have to pick some animal like physical feature that has to become like part of a woman. So if like for example,
not part of myself, part of a woman.
part of women, yeah. Like, you know, like fucking a massive horn on the end of their nose. Or
Well, I wouldn't go for the horn.
Or a big fucking elephant ears. You know, like just anything. If humans had to have something animal added to them,
okay,
what would you go for?
What would I go for? Oh, that's a tough one.
I know what I would pick. Tail.
Really?
I think chicks would look lush with a tail.
I guess.
No, like a proper, like long one.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Wow.
Yeah, they're like whipping you with it, like to, you know, to flirt with you.
Increase the pleasure.
And you'd be like, fucking hell, she's flicking us with her tail, man.
Show us what you've got with your tail.
Oh.
Wow.
Quite I thought, I could dig that, like.
You've been a bad putty cat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just picking her up by her tail. Fucking
I don't know, Phil. I was going to say something daft like...
even a third tit. Anything you want.
No, I think anything beyond 2 is kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Then you start to...
That chick that time that got the fucking surgery.
Yeah,
to
nice,
get a third tit.
great. Well then, you got 3 tits. What are you going to do with the third one? What are you going to do with the third one? Just get another one. Have a cow with her. You know, just do it. Go the whole hog. Well, I don't know. I think I'd probably choose something crazy, like some sort of daft facial markings or something distinct, like maybe around the eyes, so like a natural sort of eyeliner.
Yeah.
Something like that. Some sort of, not plumage, but like facial markings. Nothing too obscure. Just something that enhances.
Yeah. In the way that they use
In the way they use
fake
makeup.
eyelashes
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah,
Like, no.
yeah. Does that make me sound superficial?
No, dude.
No. Did you have another question, or was that it?
No, I think that was it, dude.
Because I can see 2 questions, Phil.
But there is another question. I don't want to ask it. Well, no.
Go on then.
It was just general idea. Like, what is it about the mermaid that is attractive? What's alluring? And I thought, well, because the fucking bottom half's totally written off.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way to put this.
Can't do anything
So,
with it.
Well, like, what's upstairs? So it just puts like on a bloody mantelpiece
Breasts.
the titties and the hair.
Yeah.
You know, because they haven't got the main things: legs, ass, vagina.
No, they don't. They've only got the breasts and...
The breast, the hair, the face.
Yes. I guess it's the
Fuck the arms.
it's the mystery of it. I mean, whenever you talk about mermaids, people very rarely mention mermen.
Yeah.
It's just... You know,
It's Jack Merman.
it's people... I don't think women fantasize about mermen.
No. You ain't got a dick.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point in a merman? I think that's just sort of like, well, we've got mermaids, we might as well have mermen as well.
Yeah, chicks like want the full package, don't they? So they want a full physical package and they want them to have a good job and all that shit. Whereas dudes, they just need one little thing. You could put a fucking pair of tits on a bloody, I don't know, fucking lion or something. Like, I could check after that, at the very least. You could even sedate it and fondle it. like human males will do some fucked up shit. Like for one little thing, like you could probably con some dumb idiot to shag a baboon from behind.
I don't even think you'd have to con someone.
Yeah, just tell them.
Somebody would probably do it. Somebody with the same...
Steve-O or someone from Jackass.
Somebody with the same mentality as the bloke that jumped in the tiger cage in India. Some fool.
I'm just going to go out there and fuck this thing real quick. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to get killed. Fuck.
If you're going to try and rape a wild animal, I definitely wouldn't advise a baboon. That thing will bite your dick clean off.
Yeah.
It's like a dog monkey. Baboons are savage motherfuckers.
There's not a lot of human can rape, really.
Apart from other humans. So
Take humans out of the question. Human males are shit rapists in the animal world because pretty much most creatures could rape us. Like a wolf could rape us fairly easily, I think. Cause I'd be submitting pretty quick. I'd fight for a bit and realise these fucking bites are really hurting. I'm just going to give up that ass. Take that ass, boy. What? Like a bear would obviously rape the shit out of you.
yeah.
Just name the fucking animals that can rape you.
Did this just become a rape cast?
Rapecast. It's another rapecast, mate.
I guess with the subject matter being mermaids, it was always on the cards, Phil.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't believe in mermaids? I don't believe in mermaids. 2 guys, 1 garage. We don't believe in mermaids. What do you think? Do you believe in mermaids? Do you think it's possible that these half human, half fish hybrids live out at sea, singing their songs, dragging men to the depths, the oceanic depths? What do you think? Even me saying this sounds kind of crazy. I feel like a fucking idiot. I do, because how can people believe in this shit? It's a great idea, great storytelling concept, but in reality...
Yeah, but do many people actually believe in it, though?
No, probably not. But Luke does. So.
Oh, yeah, Luke. Again, Luke. What the fuck, dude? We're going to have some fucking serious words.
Yeah, Luke should have came in and been part of this podcast, but he's still scared, so...
Oh, I bitching out, Luke.
He is bitching out.
You motherfucker.
You motherfucker. And Luke, do us a favour, when you listen to this podcast, let me know what's going on, if you still believe in mermaids or not. Because I've got...
What are you on about, guys? I've never believed in that. Why would you say such a
This
thing?
guy, it's slander on the podcast. He's talking shit about me.
Yeah, you get like one of those fucking, what do you call them? Letters to the door saying you've been summoned to court and that.
Right.
What the fuck would you call that?
A restraining order or something?
When someone wants to sue you?
Luke, I don't know. But Luke has restraining order out on Phil and David from 2 Guys, 1 Garage. We're so sorry. Anyways, let me know if you believe. If you're watching this on YouTube, go to iTunes, download the podcast. If you're listening to this on iTunes, go to YouTube, watch the podcast, and if you fancy streaming it and you've got internet access, you can just stream it without downloading it on SoundCloud. Personally, I would advise you download the subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, and then fresh episodes will just appear in your feed when we release them, and subscribe on YouTube to watch the shows as and when they come out. Any final words, Phil?
Happy Hanukkah Marv, to quote Home Alone. No.
She's a little beauty, to quote Steve Irwin.
Crikey, to quote him again. I was getting fucked off Steve Irwin. What I do is I just...
Phil, this is too far. This is too far.
I just grab a hold of the neck there and... oh, there we go. David Dinsley and Philip Briggs climbing. Humans couldn't ride animals. I've come back from the fucking dead to prove that we can.
I'll reply to that by saying the words bitch, 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 to quote episode 54 of the podcast, where we talk about Derek Akora, the spiritualist medium. Bitch. That's him possessed. Anyway, we've got to end this. This has been a wacky cast. That's what we're going to call it. It's a wacky... It's a wacky cast, because we're just talking craziness.
Wacky warehouse.
42 minutes of insanity discussing mermaids when we don't believe in them. What the fuck?
What the fuck's in here?
It's these energy drinks, I swear to God, man.
Tears of Mermaids.
Okay, we've told you what to do on YouTube and iTunes. Like the Facebook page. I don't know why you're not. You can do it right now when I'm talking to you. I don't know. Write a review. And if you don't want to write a review, because nobody seems to be writing reviews on this podcast.
You wankers.
Nobody's writing reviews. At least click the stars. If you think this is poor, click 1 star. As long as you do it. I mean, don't do it. For God's sake, hit 5. Otherwise, I'll send Phil to kill you, and Phil will procrastinate for a while.
Yeah, I'll kill you eventually.
But a couple of months to a year down the line, he's coming for you.
And you'll never know, because it'll be that slow.
That is a threat. He'll just amble up behind
It's
you.
like tectonic plates moving, you just
Yeah.
don't notice because it's happening over such a long period of time.
It's like, the land moving.
But eventually there'll be an earthquake,
Eventually, you'll get you.
so be careful.
Like, once he's let out the garage, I mean, he fills his own man.
Yeah, I'm independent.
He's independent. When he's in the garage, keep him chained down like the Rancor beast from Return of the Jedi. That's Phil's role. And I'm like Jabba the Hutt sat up there. Laughing. This has got to end now. This wacky cast is done. Episode 56. I believe it's in the bag. Mermaids. Good night. God bless. Don't believe in God. Good night. God bless. Goodbye.